So I really didn't expect anything to come out of the Animal Crossing Direct. I'm not too big into the game, but I kind of wanted to maybe see if this Direct could ease me back into it. Maybe entice me with some extra stuff like Tortimer Island. I don't know, but I thought I'd give it a watch either way. It was just a short 20-minute presentation, and I thought, okay, this'll be nice. But what I didn't expect was to see one of Nintendo's most questionable things and business practices I've seen in quite a while. And that is obviously Nintendo Switch Online. As I'm sure you've all seen, they have announced the price difference between the old version of Switch Online and this new expansion pass. And holy moly, it is way bigger than I could have possibly imagined. So let me tell you the prices of the expansion pass before I get into the video itself. So for the UK, it has jumped from £18 to £35 for the individual members. And for the family members, it's went from £31.50 to £50. And for the US, it's went from $20 to $50. And for the family pack, it's went from $35 to $80. $80. So this includes N64 games, Genesis games, and the new Animal Crossing DLC that they announced today. But you can also buy the Animal Crossing DLC separately for $25, but you can't buy the Switch Online expansion pass without the Animal Crossing DLC. What? Just so many thoughts. I'm just kind of shocked at this outcome. So when the Switch expansion pass got announced, I thought, okay, they're really pushing it by making you pay extra money. I thought it would have been reasonable to make it like a $5 increase. That doesn't seem so bad. $10 was me like really reaching my peak of like, okay, realistically, I could probably see a $10 increase. That seems like something Nintendo would do. But nowhere near did I ever expect them to increase it by $30. And obviously the reason for the massive price increase is because of this Animal Crossing Happy Home Paradise DLC. So I've got major issues with this, of course. It's very obvious that this is not a good thing, but I want to discuss why I have so many issues. And Nintendo, if you're listening, probably not, but if you are, please reconsider the pricing of this service, and please add options for what users can buy for it, because the current setup you've got here is not consumer friendly at all. So my first problem with it, my biggest problem really, is the Animal Crossing part of it. Nintendo can't assume that everyone owns Animal Crossing. Furthermore, Nintendo can't assume that everybody who does have Animal Crossing are still interested in the game, when it's been way over a year and a half since the game was first released. Nintendo let that game just be dry and lack updates for many months. So it's very ballsy to assume that people would still be interested in playing it now. Something I'm really shocked with is that it's not an extra game, because Xenoblade Chronicles 2, they made DLC for that game called Torna the Golden Country, which I thought was really fun. And they actually decided not only is that going to be DLC for the game you already own, but you can also buy it separately as its own game. Genius move right there. Gives people options. It's as simple as that. So instead of assuming that everyone has Animal Crossing, I know it's like super high selling, but there are many people like me who own the game but just not very interested in it. And not everybody owns it. We can't forget that. Not everyone who has a Switch owns Animal Crossing. You could have alleviated that issue by making this Happy Home Paradise, which is renamed after Happy Home Designer, which was a separate game for the 3DS. You could have made it its own separate game as well as DLC for New Horizons. Easy. Everybody gets it. I still would hate the pricing of this thing, but at least everybody would have access to Animal Crossing. But they don't, because not everybody owns the game. And they keep on emphasizing this fact that you get it at no additional cost. But you are. This is what you're paying for. This is why it's so expensive. I keep on seeing people saying that the Animal Crossing DLC, oh, it's free if you buy online. No, it's not. You are paying for it. This is the money that's going towards it. Because on its own, it's $25. If this wasn't in the DLC, the expansion for Switch Online, it would not be as expensive as it is. So you're not getting it for free, you are paying for it. Just as for PlayStation Plus, you are paying for these games every month. They're not free. these are going into what you're paying for the subscription service. It's as simple as that. And furthermore, what makes it really bad is that once the subscription service runs out after a year, you can't play the DLC anymore for Animal Crossing. You would have to renew it so that you can keep on playing it. Whereas if you bought it separately, you have it forever. And if you buy it separately, screw you. You still have to pay for it again in the expansion pass for Switch Online. Why aren't there options? Easiest solution in the world right here. If you own the DLC expansion, or just give an option in general to buy the expansion pass for Switch Online without Animal Crossing and make it, what, $30? I still think that's a bit too much. I'm pushing it, but it'll be 10 times better because they need to obviously entice people like, ooh, if you get the Animal Crossing with the expansion pack, it's a bit cheaper than if you bought it on its own and you bought the expansion pack separately. Boom. So you're getting some savings there, and that would have made total sense. There wouldn't be a big riot. Their videos for Switch Online wouldn't have a crap ton of dislikes. Sure, it'd have some dislikes, but I think most people would have been on board. Whereas where we stand now, the majority are not on this, and it's a very risky move to expect people to pay $50 for an individual membership. And also, you can't, at least as it shows in the trailer, you can't seem to buy memberships for 1 month or 3 months with the individual membership anymore. You just have to pay it in one for a year. So that's really weird. Now they're just flat out taking away options. And now, okay, so if we're paying $50, let's talk about this. It's set in stone. It ain't changing for now. Maybe Nintendo will change their minds. Please, that's what this video is for. Please change your minds, Nintendo. Now, let's actually just judge the service on its own. Okay, it's $50. Let's start judging the quality of what we're getting. So, the N64 games. If we're paying $50 for this, why are there only 9 games at launch? The NES had, what, 20? And the Super Nintendo had, I'm trying to remember, it must have been at least like 15 or something. It was a decent amount, and you were paying less. But now that we're paying more, why are we getting less games than what we were given the first time round with the other consoles? Surely we should be getting the same amount, if not more, if we're paying extra. This is the premium pack. We should be treated like premium members, but we're still being treated as if it's the old pack. So where are the games? There's just not enough here. Like, where's Pokemon Stadium? Screw it. Where's Conker's Bad Fur Day? GoldenEye? We should be going all out if we're paying $50. Like, that's a lot of money. And now for the Genesis. Like, do I even need to say? You can buy the game separately in their own collections and own them forever, and it's cheaper than this expansion pass. So why? Why was Genesis the one that was chosen? Why didn't you choose Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, any of these consoles, but you decided to stick with Sega Genesis? You can buy those games like multiple times. So why? And I already mentioned it before, the PlayStation Plus offers games every month. They're not always great games. In fact, it's been annoying me lately. I'm not going to defend PlayStation Plus entirely. The games they've been offering recently have been really like niche and just not very enticing. But they have offered games before. Like, I think they offered Just Cause 4. I think they offered Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Final Fantasy VII Remake. They have offered big games, you know? And also you get a better online experience and you can do voice chat and stuff. But you can't do that with the Switch. You get better connection and everything. So at the end of the day, Nintendo, it's for our, like, obviously consumers are really pissed off, but also it's going to lose you money. Less people are going to buy it than if it was cheaper, which is just, that's the obvious thing. But you don't have to lose out on money because the only way to make it more appealing is to make it optional, you know? Because people who own Animal Crossing are most likely going to buy the separate DLC, you know? They're more likely to buy either way, so you're not even losing money. Really? Like, maybe you lose a bit, but not much. If you just give options, you wouldn't have as much bad press, and the bad press makes less people want to buy your thing. So actually, you would probably earn money. You would earn more money if you gave options. Because right now, you're just encouraging more people to emulate on PC. Why would I pay $50 for a 4x3, what is it? It goes from 240p to 480p upscale for N64 games with a border that you can't turn off, which is especially bad considering the Switch OLED has just released and you could get screen burning. Obviously, the chances of that are very unlikely, but you can reduce the chances by, you know, giving an option to turn the border off when you're playing these classic games. You're just encouraging people to be like, okay, well then I'll just play it on my PC in widescreen, in 4K, using whatever controller I want. Do you want people to do that? No. If you own Nintendo's consoles, that should be the best place to play Nintendo's games, no matter if it's new or if it's legacy content. So you're definitely losing people, Nintendo. And as a final note, this is going to be controversial, like I know it. I don't even know if I should put this in the video, but I'm going to say it anyways. Animal Crossing New Horizons, when it first came out, and honestly, ever since up until now, has felt like a game that lacked so much content compared to New Leaf, and yet they charged more money for it, which I've always found fishy. Even after today, I still don't feel like it has as much content as New Leaf, and they're deciding to make you pay for this Happy Home Paradise thing, which on its own, as DLC on its own, would be fine to have to pay for. But the fact that the game was as empty as it is, and we're having to pay for more content, that's what I don't like about it. Because it's my belief that if you're buying a home console game on the Switch, that it should have more content than it did on the handheld version of it, because you're paying more money, you know? You're paying $60 compared to what, $40 on the 3DS? So shouldn't I get like more content because I'm paying more money? That's my thought process behind it, you know? You pay more, you get more. Like, it's as simple as that. I'm not like fully versed in Animal Crossing, so if I'm actually wrong about that, and it turns out this game has actually got more content after all of this stuff, then let me know in the comments. I might be wrong, so I apologize, but I just remember New Leaf having way more than this, you know? At least before the paid DLC. If we disregard the paid DLC, I feel like New Leaf still had more content than what we have in the game right now. Obviously, you can't terraform and like change the island in New Leaf, but I feel like you had more furniture, you had Tortimer Island and all that, and just, it was a much faster paced game too. But really, the part of this video is to just Nintendo, please give an option. Like, we've got to tell them this. We can't just sit by idly and just let them, I mean, like, get away with it as if they're like some villain. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Like, we've got to let them know that this ain't good, so that they can change it. They can fix it. They can just give me an option to just buy the online thing for like $30 and I get the N64 stuff, because I guarantee they'll get more people buying it if they do that, and they'll get positive press if they actually listen to the feedback. So it's a win-win for both consumers and Nintendo. So that is why they should do it. But that's everything I've really got to add to this, so let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I know this was not, I wouldn't save the Sonic, but I mean, Sega Genesis has the Sonic, right? Right? Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out, my dudes.